Welcome. Thank you for joining our webinar about TikTok in the media industry. My name is G. I'm one of the media lecturers at UA92 and my background is in production and video journalism. So my passion is all about video and storytelling. If you're in this room with me right now, it's because you are a passionate storyteller. So thank you for joining this webinar. I think TikTok gets a bit of a bad rap sometimes, and I think it's a great tool for passing on information, disseminating knowledge, and making sure that we have a good digital literacy and media literacy as we do so. One of the most important things about this that we're going to learn in this session is how we actually use TikTok in the industry. So you might be like, oh my gosh, BBC have a TikTok? Yeah, they do, and it's really popular. People like to get their news from social media a lot of the time. And by having verified, fact-checked sources like Al Jazeera and Channel 4, we can get news directly from, not from the source as such, but from the source of the website that's then put into video format and is designed to be accessible because you've got a picture with it, you can have subtitles, you get a lot of news content in a very small amount of space. We're also going to talk about how we use TikTok in the industry in marketing as well as in journalism. And we're going to talk about how we integrate video, social content, education, learning, media literacy, filming and editing at UA92. So how we prepare you for a career in social media content creation. So if the world's population is 8 billion, there have been 4.92 billion downloads of TikTok, just TikTok as the app worldwide, which is a staggering number, far more than the growth of any other social media platform. TikTok exploded after the 2019 global COVID-19 pandemic. I guess people are at home, they were bored, they wanted entertainment, which brings us on to the fact that worldwide, entertainment is the most popular content category on the platform with 535 million hashtag views. Again, a staggering number. If we think about that number and put it into context, 535 billion. Yeah. The next most popular categories are dance, pranks, fitness, sports, and home renovations, DIY. I'm sure lots of you have searched these categories before, particularly the pranks, fitness, sports, dance. So today we're going to cover how we use media and TikTok, how we use TikTok and social media, in the media industry, and also how we teach it at UA92. So how we filter all that social media goodness with the ethical risks, the considerations, how we create content that captures a waning attention span of global audiences, how we factor that into our teaching at UA92. But first of all, please tell me your name and dream potential career, because it's important that I get to know you. I want to know about, your dream future career and what your name is, please. So put that in the chat box for me. If you could also, if you're comfortable sharing, which social media platform do you use the most? So I'm talking about your highest screen time. So I'm seeing a few names and careers in there. Quite a lot of people wanting to be content creators, social media managers, all very respectable careers. Careers that will stand you in good stead if you're able to differentiate between social platforms as well. So it's all well and good being able to be a TikTok content creator, but it varies massively when you want to go into Facebook or Snapchat and all these different platforms. Also, it's important to consider why social video. So why is social video so important? There are so many different fields that you can go into and so many different places within a wider industry, including marketing. So people often think of marketing as just being about like corporate brands. So, you work for Nike, you do their marketing, you promote their products, their services, their athletes, all this kind of stuff. But in marketing, there are different types. So you can do corporate, like your Nike. You can do political, Labour Party, SNP. Every party has their own social media team that are making sure that they're spinning things in the way that they want narratives to be told, and also in a way that appeals to their voters. Another part of marketing you can go into is in the third sector, so charity. I'm sure with the world the way it is at the moment, there'll be lots of charity jobs and third sector jobs available for young, hungry graduates who are good at social media. Another field that you can go into with social media video skills is journalism. So my background is as a video journalist, and a big part of my job was to turn news headlines and stories into social media videos. That might have been you in front of the camera. It might have been you vox popping in the street and going and asking people questions. What do you reckon to the election results? You're out on election day, you're asking people how they feel about Starmer's win. All these, exciting questions and getting to be at the forefront of what the country actually think, because you are so reactive with your phone, your mic, your little mini lights. So for me, video journalism was a great career option. Another area you can go into, videography and editing. So you've got some more like big boy kit. You can do something a bit bigger. You've got stuff on your shoulders. You've got better mics, better lights. You can also still be very mobile with it, and you can carry cameras around on gimbals. We have loads of that kind of kit at uni. So if you do want to come to one of our open days, which we have quite regularly, you can come try some of our kit. Another area you can go into, as some of you want to do, content creation. So you can do that freelance, you can do it for a client. We do this if you're a videographer, if you're a content creator, if you're an influencer, a presenter, all those kind of roles. I think there's this kind of misconception on influencer as a title that you are just selling products and you are just working for like one client or different clients that you like Boohoo, Pretty Little Thing, Nike, whoever your favorite fashion brands are. But influencers do so much more than just selling products. They also create brand visibility, brand awareness. There can sometimes be something quite admirable in influencers because they are promoting a cause that is important to them. It could be a charity, some sort of political campaign, something that is there for the greater good. Equally, there is also another area you can go into, which is the arts. So theatre and music industry. I'm sure many of you might be interested in making music videos for one of your favourite artists or working in film, in theatre. All of these industries need social video creators. Next up, I want to pose to you a question that I hope doesn't make you too existential. So do you identify or do you, see yourself as a brand? So not trying to spin your heads or anything, but maybe we are brands, is every person their own walking, talking brand? Because, influencers are a brand, politicians are a brand, athletes are a brand. Do you think Michael Jordan just steps out of bed one day and is suddenly like an overnight celebrity? No, you've got to be able to build your online presence, your marketing persona, all these kind of things. You've got to have a specific tone of voice. You've got to know how to appeal to your audience. Superstars aren't made overnight. They're built over years and months and weeks of careful marketing and sometimes social video content creation. I want to give you a quote now, something that is actually taken from the TikTok business platform. So TikTok say, there is no one time block when the best content is live on TikTok. Prime time is all the time. So our full screen sound on platform is immersive by nature, and our unique recommendation system curates entertainment that is unique to each individual viewer. So for those of you at home, I'm sure you know what unique recommendation system means. That's your algorithm, that's your For You page. So when you're scrolling, you're getting things thrown at you that you've maybe looked at similar content before, you've saved the content, you've commented on it, you've liked it, you've engaged with it, which tells your algorithm, we're going to give you more of this. Another question for you all. So please answer in the chat box. How do you think this has affected the attention span of social media users? Do you find that sometimes you're scrolling and things are maybe starting to all look a little bit the same? Do you find that you need maybe snappier, punchier content to feel as entertained or like to get a laugh out of you or to get some sort of emotional reaction? Tell me a bit about that in the comment section. Thanks for your participation on that one. I think it's interesting that so many people in the chat box have said things about wanting smaller bite-sized content and also needing content to fall asleep. So we're actually building social media into our sleep hygiene routines, which when you think about it is crazy. Like imagine explaining that to your grandparents, that you're watching 30-second videos before bed of someone building a fire and building like a camp from scratch, because that's what, soothes your brain, smooths over the folds of your brain enough that you can actually sleep at night. I think it's something we need to examine within ourselves, and I think it's also something that we have to examine as social content creators, that people's attention spans are not to be messed with any more than they already have been. Some more interesting stats for you. I know you can see at the top, we've got a Guardian headline here, which says, your attention didn't collapse. It was stolen. Stolen by who? It was stolen by TikTok, stolen by content creators, stolen by social media conglomerates. So it says here, around 71% of teenagers and young adults have confessed to having a social media addiction. 71%, that's a really high percentage. That's nearly 3/4 of all teens and young adults. And here, millennials, so ages 28 to 43, their attention span sits at around 12 seconds, which is incredibly short, seeing how that's changed through the last 50 years since we've digitalised massively with work, with play, with social. Gen Z, so maybe a lot of you at home, your age group, ages 12 to 27, your attention span is sitting at around 8 seconds, which again is incredibly short. Something that brands do to tap into this and to further diminish and shorten your attention span is by creating that short form content that we all know and consume. People are doing social media detoxes, TikTok cleanses, all this kind of stuff, and then also making trends about that, which again is just such a interesting idea. Here it says that accessible and impactful script and an informal tone of voice are key features of TikTok videos for brands. Brands are very good at tapping into our psychology and knowing exactly what we want as consumers. So some people on TikTok might see themselves as audience members. Others will accept and acknowledge that they are consumers, as well as they're not just a passive audience member. Everything that you consume, goes into your brain, and you are in some way going to hang on to that, even if it's in your subconscious. It's not to say that every kind of doom scrolling session is going to impact you long term. It's just to say that these things filter into our psychology, and we think about them then when we go to a shop and we say, oh, we've just seen loads of reels by Converse, and I've seen they've just got this new collab with Charlie XCX. I like her. I'm going to go buy their shoe, when ordinarily you might not have. Another good point is that creative trend making and following is a big part of brand social strategy. So being able to jump on a trend that feels authentic, which make of that what you will, jumping on a trend, being authentic, but also just creative trend making. So, sometimes it falls a bit flat when a brand is just going like in on every single trend. So brands have to be really careful knowing which trends are good for them and which aren't. Typically as well, TikToks have relevant and catchy audio, hashtags for discoverability, so other people can find them by searching the hashtag. And then also some really cool platform-specific things that I've used in the past are duetting. So when a video plays side by side, often you've got is it Roblox or Roblex? You've got something there, and then you've got something else where they're trying to sell your product, and they're like, watch this, but also watch this, and it's like filtering into your consumer brain. And also stitching. So when a video plays after the original, you've got your initial video, and then it just cuts to somebody else on a screen. And that's a really good way of keeping people's attention, if we can do it in, again, an ethical way by not making videos too short. So next up, in the comment section, if you could also please drop a TikTok video from a brand you like in the comment section of the call. I want to see what kind of brands you guys are engaging with, and which brands mean something to you, which brand maybe you'd like to work for. Who do you see on TikTok? Post a video from their TikTok. So I can see someone's put Curry's PC World, and I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the stitching, where they throw a bucket of water and they say, oh, Curry's fresh deals, come get them. I know exactly what you're talking about. And what an brilliant way of authentic, organic social media posts, because you're not paying anyone to do that. You're getting some guy, some 40-year-old called Craig, who works at PC World in his PC World uniform or Curry's, and he's saying, stand here, pretend you've got water all over you, or actually have some water over you, and let's make a viral video. So in the industry, how do we actually use it? So we're not going to unpack it in too much detail, but in a way, you have to engage with your audience and also create brand visibility. So I've got 4 pillars here. We've got news, entertainment, politics, and educational. So you can see here, Channel 4 News, they're talking about Justin Trudeau, who's resigning as the Canadian PM. Very low views here, only 13K. Typical news content doesn't often get that many views, and Trudeau resigning as Canadian PM, would be a big story in Canada and in France, but maybe not as big a story in England. Gay Times here, they've got, what do Ariana and Cynthia think of the Gelfie ship? So we've got a little lesbian entertainment ship here from Gay Times. One of the hottest news stories of last year was all of the Wicked, the press tour, and how much content came off the back of that, the Holding Space and the Defying Gravity. Our next pillar, politics. So Al Jazeera English are talking about the fall of the Assad regime and Syria's new diplomatic efforts. So political content also works very well on TikTok, because political content has typically been quite inaccessible for people to learn about. But via the medium of TikTok, younger people are able to engage more with politics and put a face to these names that they might have seen in the news, but they actually don't know who that person is. So I think that TikTok is a really good way of disseminating political information to young people, bearing in mind it's verified and fact-checked. And then finally, on to educational. So you might not think that the Chippy Diva has any kind of educational kudos behind her. However, she is educating every single person about the deals they offer, about the fish and chip combos that they have at Merchants Fish and Chips. You're probably wondering how we incorporate video into our degrees, because that's why you're here. You want to learn about how we incorporate video content into our day-to-day at UA92. In the media department, we offer you a very varied diet. So I've put 4 different food groups here. We've got video, audio, written, and we've got presenting. So I've changed some of my assessment briefs to be a little bit more social video heavy, because regardless of what area of the industry you go into, if you're working in media, someone's going to ask you to make a TikTok video. Someone's going to ask you, hey, can you do some social copy for this? And I think at your age, at 16 to 18, and also other age groups, it's important to have that awareness of what happens in the industry. So in industry, this is how we prepare you for it. In our level 4 module for sports media and PR, this is all under our Bachelor of Honours Sports Media and Communications degree. At the level 4 module, we have sports media and PR. So each student has to create one social media video as part of a transmedia campaign. And transmedia just means that you're targeting 2 different target audiences. So that could be millennial men and Generation Alpha boys, Level 5 module as well on the same degree is integrated marketing communication, which is a fantastic module for anyone interested in campaigns, video content creation. So here you've got to create social media videos to support a marketing campaign. Again, kind of similar to the other module, but at a high level. I'm going to show you really quickly one of the examples. So one of my incredible level 5 groups did a collaboration campaign between Baileys and Cadbury. So here, the group came up with a Cadbury's-Baileys collaboration and they pitched it to a Manchester marketing agency and they received exceptional feedback. They were like, why haven't you pitched this already? This should be already with Cadbury's. I'm not sure if the video media is going to work right now, but you can see the branding here. We've got the Cadbury, the gold X, everything's on brand, the exact right font, all that kind of good stuff that brands look for in a content creator. Cool. We're going to send you that video out in the chat box later anyway, so you can have a look at that in your own time, because seeing student work is a true privilege. Let's run through some types of social video. So I'm sure a lot of you know the format of educational versus explainer videos. So, you've got someone telling you what their brand is about, what their values are, how they operate, all that kind of stuff. BTS, so shorthand for behind the scenes. When a company takes you and says, oh, meet our marketing team, meet our finance team. Another common one, particularly for beauty brands, I feel like you see a lot of interviews and takeovers. So anyone wanting to get into that kind of industry, you see a lot of, we've got this athlete taking over the Adidas TikTok. We've got Dave taking over like the Patagonia TikTok, something like that. Entertaining, so just humorous stuff. I feel like back in the day, this was like dog content on Facebook, but now we're seeing it's more like pranks on TikTok and crazy like AI, special effects, different kind of video editing techniques to make like genuinely unbelievable content of like Buckingham Palace flooding using AI. Testimonials, so someone using a product, again, very popular in like healthcare and beauty, saying, look, we've got Maya Jama using the new Maybelline mascara. Here's our testimonial. This product is sick. She likes it as well. And then finally, a product video, just actually demonstrating what a product does. When a video begins, you've got only a few seconds before your audience drops off. So when you are creating content, you've got to have a hook. And you might have heard about this in like GCSE English. You might have heard this about psychology even, different kind of humanities subjects. You need a hook. You need a hook of an essay. You need a hook of a video. You need a hook of anything that involves trying to get people's attention. So the hook says, stop scrolling right now. When you're scripting for social media, this usually means you've got flashy graphics and some script that is, again, going to stop you in your tracks and stop you from brain dead scrolling for any more time than you already have been. So usually, when I was scripting, I would do this by engaging my audience, by asking them a question. Did you know? How does it feel when? What do you want to hear about this? So I also would sometimes introduce them to a hack. So saying like, this thing's happening, do you know about it? You could promise them some news, so like stay watching if you want to hear about Cynthia's beef with Ariana. You could also use a trending phrase. So trending phrases are a good way to show that you have like a knowledge of what's going on social media. It makes certain demographics trust you more, i.e. Gen Z and millennials. You can see our chill guy on the right here. A few students have already referenced him to me and I had to be made aware of him. I think that your opening should always be a short and snappy sentence. My students always refer me back to the chill guy. And like, if you're a chill guy, your opening will always be short and snappy because you know what you're saying and you're saying it with confidence. You have 1 to 3 seconds before your audience drops off. This is a very important bit of data here. So you've got 1 to 3 seconds before someone goes, nope, don't like that, gonna scroll. So you've got to hook them in with that tone of voice, you know, how you're conveying the emotion. You've also got to hook them in with the script, of course, and the visuals that they're seeing on screen. And the average retention rate for videos across the board is 54%. So if you make a 3-minute video, people are only watching a minute and a half of that. I think in the comments section previously, someone on this call said that they never watch a video over 2 minutes, which makes perfect sense. You know, our attention spans are decreasing. Brands have to get the information and content that they need in the first kind of 10 to 30 seconds. So we're going to wrap up now with a little task. I want you to decide which brand you're working for. You are now a content creator. Congratulations. Consider which brand you're working for. I want you to make a TikTok video for the brand. And I think what would be really nice at the end of this task is once you've completed it, first of all, show it to your friend and ask for any amends. And then also send it to the brand itself. And then let us know, you can find me on LinkedIn, let us know if the brand get back to you, because this is a really nice way of getting your foot in the door and showing that you are a self-starter, showing that you show initiative. For this TikTok video, I want you to be the presenter and the editor. So you can edit on CapCut if you're not comfortable with other editing softwares. And let's pretend that for all intents and purposes, the brand has briefed you with making a 3 crazy facts you don't know about us video. I want you to do some research, find your material, begin scripting your first few lines, and then start filming on your phone and capture a 30-second video. So very kindly, some of these questions have been written down for me. The first one is, do you need filming experience to do the degree? And this is something that students often ask, or provisional students sometimes ask. You need any filming experience to do the degree, because that's why you're doing the degree. You're coming here to learn. You're coming here to pick up a camera for the first time, our exceptionally high quality Blackmagic cameras. We're going to show you how to film on your phone. We're going to show you how to film on, again, our professional cameras. And same for the second question. Do you need to know how to use editing software beforehand? So you don't need to know how to edit, because again, that's something we teach you. It's one of the core skills here. If you already know how to edit and you've done a little bit of social media in the past, as in just your own personal channel, that's a huge plus. It goes in your favor. But this is why I've given you this task now. I think doing this task and picking a brand you like, making a video for them, maybe even sending it to the brand, is a really nice way to get yourself started into that kind of mindset. Okay, what is the day in the life of a media student look like? So media students, if you are coming to us as a level 4, so in first year, you're typically taught in the morning. So you are with us for a 4-hour session with lots of breaks, I promise, because I know after an hour, you don't want to be sat in a classroom for too long. So 4-hour sessions between 9 and 1, and we'll talk you through theory, how we apply it, and also how we act in industry. We're going to give you all the skills you need to be a fantastic media professional, whichever degree you choose. So you'll be in from 9 till 1. In the breaks, people go to the little cafe across the road. Equally, after that, you've got lots of private study time for yourself. So then from 1 p.m. onwards, if you've got caring responsibilities or if you've got a part-time job to support yourself through uni, you've also got private study time. That whole afternoon is yours to do what you want with. It says here, is there always going to be jobs in digital content creation or content creators? So for now, yes. It's hard to predict the future with tech because Elon Musk is at the helm of it. But outside of that, it's a very reliable industry for the short term. I think that your skills in video will always transfer. So it doesn't matter if social media isn't always as vast and as well paying a landscape as it is now, because your video skills will always be well used by videographers in film, in television. Broadcast is not going anywhere, neither is film. So there are a lot of options outside of social media content creation, even if that's what you're pursuing right now. Do you offer placements or work experience as part of the course? So that's something I will have to check, but we do offer lots of work experience in terms of apprenticeships and industry contacts. So we have a lot of partnerships in the university, like with Microsoft and TBWA, one of the fantastic marketing agencies that I visited myself with our students. TBWA are great because they come in and they've given feedback before on student work. So if you want the industry connections, then our media courses are quite good at that. It says here, what's your favourite TikTok trend? My favourite TikTok trend would have to be everything to do with the Wicked press tour. That was one of my favourite. I know it wasn't a trend as such, but one of the best parts of last year for me was seeing all of the Alphabet and Glinda discourse and content. So also something to mention about the timing. So for the day in the life of a media student, sometimes the AM/PM split is subject to change. So typically right now I'm teaching undergraduates in the morning, but it actually changes every year. So when you start, you could be in the afternoon. But either way, you've still got either the morning or afternoon to be able to work, do your private study, pursue your other passion projects. Cool. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been great getting to know you all in the comment section and the chat box function. I hope to see you at some open days that we've got running over the next few months. And thank you.